Many people define a global citizen by the physical evidence of their travels, a passport thick with stamps, a high balance of frequent flyer miles, and a suitcase that is never fully unpacked. Viewing the world through these rigid map lines creates a psychological barrier. We are conditioned to see the planet as isolated puzzle pieces, separated by distance. These artificial divisions suggest our empathy and responsibilities have an expiration date, stopping exactly where the border begins. Becoming a true global citizen requires no travel at all. It is a transformation of the mind that can happen right now, exactly where you are. This is an intentional choice to realize the world is a complex, connected space. It's the decision to value a life on the other side of the ocean as much as the life of a person living next door. This mindset treats the globe as a single living ecosystem, where weather, resources, and human choices flow across the landscape without regard for political boundaries. This starts with worldwide empathy. It's the recognition that human life carries the same infinite value regardless of location, refusing to let physical distance dictate the depth of our concern for others. This flowchart tracks the concept of interconnectedness. When you buy a t-shirt in a local shop, you can trace the line backward through a global supply chain to the specific garment workers and labor forces in Asia who made it possible. The impact then reverses direction. The plastic waste discarded in a local neighborhood eventually enters international waters, where ocean currents carry it to the shorelines of communities thousands of miles away. When international news stops feeling like a story about strangers and starts feeling like a report on your own extended community, the transition from observer to advocate happens naturally. Awareness becomes the catalyst for active engagement. Understanding these links is empowering. It shows our daily lives are actual levers for global change, meaning our local choices have a significant, measurable echo across the planet. Adopting this lens shifts your priorities toward the universal issues that impact all of us. Specifically, global citizens direct their energy toward 3 critical pillars of human progress. The first is human rights and equality. It's the belief that dignity and freedom are universal, requiring us to speak out against systemic injustice wherever it occurs, rather than only when it affects our own country. This heat map illustrates the second pillar, environmental sustainability. Carbon emissions originating in one region don't stay there. They alter climate patterns and temperatures for everyone. The environment is the one thing we literally all share. The third is eradicating extreme poverty. This pillar advocates for fair trade practices and equal opportunity, working toward a world where a child's access to education and safety is not determined by their place of birth. These 3 areas are the focus because they represent our shared vulnerabilities. When these systems fail, the consequences ripple across every border. When they succeed, the benefits are felt by everyone. You can contribute to these global pillars without ever leaving your home. It begins with the practical, local application of this mindset. Start by diversifying your media intake to escape the local news bubble. Seek out perspectives from international journalists, and take the time to learn the historical context behind global crises to move past simple assumptions. Use the think globally, act locally. You can support ethical labor practices worldwide by choosing local businesses that source goods sustainably, or volunteer with organizations in your own city that assist refugees and immigrants. Challenge your own internal biases. Practice active listening when meeting people from different cultures, and remain open to the discomfort of unlearning stereotypes you may have held for years. These daily cognitive habits are the necessary steps for building genuine, cross-cultural empathy and long-term change. Mastering this mindset requires a fundamental shift in how we categorize people. It means moving away from the concept of us versus them and embracing the concept of we. Success is when you can look at a stranger who speaks a different language or practices a different religion and recognize that their story is intertwined with your own. A global movement begins with a local choice. Reshaping your perspective requires only the curiosity to look at your community through a wider lens and the courage to act on what you see. The world is waiting right outside your front door. To stay connected to this global community, subscribe to the A Bus on a Dusty Road YouTube channel. Listen to the Dusty Roads and the Deep Dive podcasts, and sign up for our newsletter to keep the conversation going.